for this one, a lot of people were saying, wait a second, there's no pancakes. I want a patty, I want a pancake, I want a hamburger, I want this. And so I came up with this one, and this has become a big delight. In fact, I gotta say sometimes I almost have to defend the kitchen in this one. Meaning that if I'm making them for something like this, I'll have people come in and they want to eat them while they're being cooked because they smell so good and they taste really good. So really all we've got is got some chickpeas here. Now, you can put them in a food processor and kind of mush them up, or you can smash them with a smasher or put them in a Vitamix, but Vitamix is a little bit more problematic. We've got some shredded potatoes here. Now, you can shred them using a mandolin if you want to, or you could use a food processor, and some squash. It's a pretty simple recipe all the way around, so we just need a little bit of roughage. So we're going to throw in those onions. We're going to throw in parsley. Now, I'm looking at the volume here, and I'm looking at that little egg, and I'm thinking 2 eggs. There's nothing wrong with putting extra eggs in here, because the eggs are really what keeping the whole thing together. Now, I've mixed all the spice ahead of time. As you can see in here, we've got lemon pepper, cumin, and a little bit of salt. And we're just going to whip those eggs up a little. They've been good eggs. They don't really deserve to be whipped, but we'll do it anyway. I find a recipe like this works a little bit better if the eggs are at room temperature. It's not absolutely necessary. You can just throw that in when you think it's whipped enough. Now, it doesn't say this in the recipe, but when I'm making various other things, I just put a little bit of olive oil in here. It makes it so it doesn't stick as much. Of course, we're going to put some olive oil in the pot itself too. And basically the whole idea is just to stir it thoroughly enough Now at this point in time, how do you make a patty? Well, one of the easiest ways to make a patty is to take an ordinary little thing like this. Now you have to make sure your hands are washed before you do this, which I have. Because you kind of go like this and pat it around. There's a little bit of stragglers around the edge, so I often just take the knife and go like this. And we're going to need that flipper here pretty soon, I would think. Now when I do that, I just patty them out a little bit. And we'll just do a couple like that. Now, if you don't mind if it doesn't look pretty, you can just leave those stragglers on. But it does have a little bit of a problem of fitting it into the frying pan. I'm just going to take these three and put it in the frying pan here. Put a little olive oil in there and heat it up. This is a small frying pan. Of course, at home I'm lucky enough to have a whole griddle, and so you could do 20 of these at a time on that. They don't look like they're going to stick together, I realize that. But as soon as those eggs fry up, they're pretty good in here. You know, I might even be able to put one more in. Yeah, let's wait and see how these go.
So how did you grate the squash? Did you put that in a food processor?
I put them just on the big blade of the food processor. And it worked really fast. I mean, the problem is you take a squash and you have enough to make 100 of these. You know, that's one of the problems. You almost want to use a quarter squash or half a squash or have a party where you can make a whole bunch.
Do you think they would freeze?
Oh, they freeze absolutely fantastic. In fact, I've done that before where I've made 20, 30, 40, whatever the case may be, and freeze them for later. They'll stay good in the fridge for 4 days.
Pre-cooked? Oh, like already cooked?
Yeah. So once we cook them, we can keep them in the fridge for 4 days, heat them up, or just have them cold. Well, first of all, we peel the skin before we do this. With a peeler, with a potato peeler. I got a good potato peeler. You don't have a good potato peeler? Yeah. Peel the skin off, then put it through the process. Oh, these are starting to smell good.
They are.
Too bad YouTube didn't have smell-o-vision. And with the magic of time travel and TV, we have ourselves a group of squashes, these patties. So I'm just going to take them and transfer it into another plate. Let's get you to. Now I've got to say that I again have served these with detox friendly hot sauces, which are just ground up peppers. Of course, you can't have vinegar, so you can't have a lot of the hot sauces, but there are hot sauces and salsas and stuff like that that are legal, that are raw. We did a salsa in one of our things called salsa fresca, which is basically a raw salsa that you get in Mexico all over the place. They taste really good with this. So, bring your plate, bring your appetite.